fascinating thing which happened last week, I think on Thursday. There was a story apparently going around the Shanghai Gold Exchange and the Shanghai Futures Exchange that there was going to be a large stand for delivery in Western capital markets.
Yes.
And yeah, there was, actually, as it turned out. We're talking about 36 million plus ounces of silver in a stand for delivery on COMEX. And coincidentally, the whole of the COMEX system had a data fault. Now, did they pull the plug because they couldn't resolve the situation? I mean, we're talking about a delivery of $2 billion worth of silver. Was it just coincidence? We've got this extraordinary situation. In fact, there's no doubt about it. There is a liquidity squeeze. And in fact, in both gold and silver, we've got this extraordinary situation with metals going into new high ground or not far off it, definitely in bull markets. And the speculative interest on the buy side, as it were, is minimal. I mean, if you look at the open interest on COMEX for gold, that's less than 420,000 contracts. I mean, that's sort of oversold level. I mean, not deep oversold, but pretty near it. And this is the fascinating thing. Gold and silver are rising without any speculative input. Well, I mean, there's obviously a little bit, but I mean, it's tiny, if anything. I mean, it's really a squeeze on the establishment, on the paper establishment. And I think that particularly in the case of silver, it's very difficult for the establishment actually to close out their positions. And consequently, we could be seeing, if you like, the end of the silver contract in both forward markets in London and also on COMEX. Now that's quite a statement, because so long as I've been looking at the relationship between physical and derivatives, you know, there have been gold bugs saying the derivatives are used to suppress the price of gold, suppress the price of silver, and so on. I mean, undoubtedly that is true. But if that's coming to an end, then there is going to be massive buying pressure from that end alone. As people move out of paper, well, they've got paper and they think they've got exposure to the prices, where they'll move out of paper and have to move into the physical. So I think we're seeing potentially momentous events. Silver could be breaking, if you like, the commodity derivative system. And that's a fascinating thought.
If it's not retail buyers taking this thing up higher, who is?
Well, this is the point, Danny. It's not buyers doing it. You know, it's basically the shorts refusing to go even shorter. They're trying to control the position. And worse than that, they're finding the few buyers in the market are standing for delivery. I mean, there's a fascinating thing which happened last week, I think on Thursday. There was a story apparently going around the Shanghai Gold Exchange and the Shanghai Futures Exchange that there was going to be a large stand for delivery in Western capital markets.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was, actually, as it turned out. We're talking about 36 million plus ounces of silver in a stand for delivery on COMEX. And coincidentally, the whole of the COMEX system had a data fault. Now, did they pull the plug because they couldn't resolve the situation? I mean, we're talking about a delivery of $2 billion worth of silver. This is large. There was also a very large delivery of gold, over 58 tons, on that same day. So, yeah, I mean, I think the markets are showing huge, great strength. Now, the fact that the rumor started in Shanghai rather suggests that the stand for delivery was of Chinese origin, or at least origin in that part of the world, and was known in that part of the world. I mean, I could certainly see, someone standing for delivery like that would be quite happy to talk to his chums, if you like, and say, guess what, I'm standing for delivery for $2 billion worth of silver. And I reckon that that's going to tip the market up, or whatever I say, but you can see how the rumor might start there.
Yeah.
And confirm, if you like, that it's Chinese sources who actually went for it. But the other thing that's fascinating is, was it just coincidence that a data center had to shut down because it was overheating? Now, I read somewhere by someone who is supposedly an engineering expert on cooling systems that data centers like that not only have one complete backup system which automatically switches in if the principal one fails, but usually they have a backup to the backup. So this failure system, it's a bit fishy. So could it be that the powers that be just pulled the plug on the whole system while they tried to sort it out? I don't know. I mean, the problem with this one complete backup system, which automatically switches in if the principal one fails, but usually they have a backup to the backup. So this failure system, it's a bit fishy. So could it be that the powers that be just pulled the plug on the whole system while they tried to sort it out? I don't know. I mean, the problem with this is that, of course, we're not just talking gold and silver, we're talking about virtually the whole of the CME shutting down, if you like, by either having the plug pulled or through a data system fault. So it's all very mysterious. It really is mysterious. I mean, what I would say is that, one of the primary functions of the system, the establishment, is to ensure that if something like this goes wrong, we are not to know about it at all. They will sit on it. They will claim anything to ensure that it doesn't leak out into the public that someone is in trouble. Because if someone's in trouble, we start worrying about this, that, and the other thing. I think we're probably beginning to do that anyway. When we see the stands for deliveries, I mean, I haven't actually ahead of this looked at my numbers, but I think we're looking at about 12,500 tons of silver this year, 12,500 tons of silver this year, and roughly 1,200 tons of gold. I mean, these are huge numbers. The COMEX has turned out to be the largest precious metals mine in the world by, 3-4 times the largest mining nation. I mean, this is a staggering development.
What happened to that $2 billion order? Did it get fulfilled?
Well, no, it was a stand for delivery. Basically, someone bought the December futures. It's all on the December futures. And instead of closing the thing out and rolling it into the next one, which is normal practice, if you like, they said, right, come on, we want that stuff. Deliver! As they have the option to do. This is an extraordinary thing. It doesn't necessarily leave the CME warehouses, but the point is that the ownership changes and it goes into firm hands. It's no longer available as liquidity in the market, being registered for delivery. Comes out, that's it. Tough. And in London, of course, there's no liquidity at all, which is why there's been that backwardation.